You guys want to know something funny? Davey and I have Snapchat streaks, and we do funny filters because we think it looks silly and whatever. We found this one filter that is like macho elf. Let me show you what it looks like. This is the filter. And we discovered something absolutely cursed. It works on animals. Let's go test the cats. Oh, it works a little bit on cats. Hello and welcome back. Today, we're gonna be making my second cosplay, which is gonna be Lilith from Has Been Hotel. If you've never seen Has Been Hotel, it's a great show. Definitely not youth-orientated. We're gonna make Lilith's dress from it. Although she's not a huge character in the show, she's definitely going to be for season 2, so I'm really excited to see where that goes. But we really only have one reference picture of what she looks like. However, I am a different body shape than she is, which is fine. It's just different bodies. However, I want to make a dress that's going to be flattering on me. So I'm going to do this take on Lilith. I really like how there's a lot more movement in the dress and how there's that rouging up around the waist and hips that makes it more flattering. And I love the slit. I think it looks so cute. So this is what we're going to make. I've already got my fabric. Are you ready to see it? I'm so excited about it. Here we go. Here's the fabric. It is a super gorgeous purple velvet. Never sewn stretchy fabric before because I have always avoided it, but we're not gonna avoid it today. And to make this challenge a little bit more challenging, because you know, it's way too easy to be using new fabric and making a dress you've never made before, I'm not using a pattern because in my head, it's so simple. It's such an easy dress. Why would I bother using a pattern? So we're sure gonna find out if it's as easy as I think it is. In my head, how you make a bodycon dress is you make a rectangle that is smaller than your body, so then it has to stretch to fit on your body. Crazy, I know. Ooh, one other challenge that's gonna be here today is that Davey's out of town and they are filming a wedding and they took all of their filming gear with them, which means I do not have a tripod. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how I get camera angles and to see how I do, but I think it'll be fine. Currently you're sitting on my sewing machine. Let's sew the dress together, unless you're not sewing, because that's fine, I guess. It'll be fun, it'll be great, it will be an adventure. Let's go. Okay, welcome to the exact same location where we were before. Today, we're gonna do a very, very scientific method in order to make this dress. I know I said I was gonna make it a rectangle, but there's more science to it than just a rectangle, okay? This particular scientific method is called the Micarah Tewers way. So what you do is you fold the fabric in half. Then you lay it out on the ground. And then you make sure it's flat-ish, flat adjacent, if you will. And now that we're here, this is super important. You lay down on the fabric. You line up your shoulders-ish. And I want this dress to be full length, so now I have my full length. You make a little snip. That's good. And then for the rectangle itself, we're probably gonna want it about here. That feels right. Like I said, so scientific. And then you make that into a rectangle, okay? Okay, are you following? Well, too bad. We are actually going to be a little bit scientific about this, and that is that we are going to measure the end to the little snip I make and then make little pins every foot or so that way I can make sure it's a straight rectangle. All right, so then we grab a little pin, so that way we just have a little cutting path. Also, shout out to Ro for being an epic camera person. I interrupted Ro's Supernatural watching for this. Isn't it so worth your time? Here's the other snip. So what we are going to do is put the pin in where it should be, and then we're gonna do another pin this way to indicate that I need to do a 90-degree turn. Huh? Make sense? Then you cut out the rectangle. And I am gonna do it the same thing on the other side because these rectangles are slightly different sizes because it was an artistic decision to make the back piece just a little bit bigger. Now we are going to do the exact same to the other side, and I'll catch you after that. Okie dokie. So we now have 2 rectangles, and here's the thing. I already know that the rectangles that I've cut are already gonna be too big for me. What I want to do is just already sew a smaller rectangle. Oh, and just so you know, I am sewing rectangles, but then I'm gonna try it on and make it fit. So like, I promise I'm not just being crazy for fun. So what we're starting with is I folded each rectangle into quarters, and then I pinned right at 1/4, right here. I'm just gonna sew right along the quarter line and then try it on and see how it fits from there. Okay. So for reference, because I don't have a tripod, what you are balancing on right now is Dolores. I put the camera strap around her neck and just raised her up as tall as physically possible. My shoulder's about her waistline right now. She's just a little giant and I'm just hanging you around her neck. Anyways, I have the sides pinned. Now that both sides are sewn, I'm gonna try it on and then we will just start pinning. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. It fits good in the hips. It's obviously pretty loose in the waist and up here. So what we're gonna do is fold over a bit at the top for the neckline. But what if we did a little cowl neck? Okay, now I gotta look up how to do that. And then for the waist, we're just gonna pin this and kind of keep pinning up the bodice. And then we'll sew it and then we'll try it on again. Here's the reality of my situation. If I am going to make it a cowl necked and rouged and have a slit, I am going to need to make an actual pattern. The good news is that this dress is gonna turn out so freaking cute. The bad news is that we're gonna start over. First and foremost, I gotta take some measurements. So I've kind of sketched out what the pattern needs to look like. There's a couple of measurements that we need to have. The armpit length, bust, waist, hips, and then vertical armpit to bust, bust to waist, waist to hip, and then however long you want the full dress to be. Here's kind of what it's gonna look like in real life. Now we are going to transfer this onto pattern paper, and then we'll move that onto the fabric. Pattern pieces are now cut out. This is the front piece, bust, waist, hip, goes all the way down. Back piece, so you only have waist, hip, going all the way down. And then the one last piece that I have is one facing piece, and that is for the back of the waistband. Now that everything's cut out and traced, we are gonna start by finishing the edges of the facings. And then next up, we are going to sew the side seams. So let me real quick pin that and then get to sewing. The dress is actively pinned to my bra, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Here's where we're at. I do kind of like the way it looks in back. I think that looks really cute. It is still a little bit loose in the waist. Definitely could come in more. And then I think the slit's gonna be a very good idea because it's just a lot visually. I'm debating just rouging the side that has the slit. So it'll kind of be like that. Also, I totally moved my full length mirror into the bathroom for lighting in an attempt because the lighting out in my bedroom's terrible right now because the sun's going down. So here's kind of where we're at. Okay, the second strap is done. I cut 2 tiny little pieces off of it that we're gonna turn into loops. The dress is inside out. This is the back part, okay? You kinda know where we're at? Next up, we're gonna put the facing right sides together up on the back piece, pin that in place, and then the straps are gonna go right in the corner. Next up, I'm gonna do a little top stitch, because this is the facing. Just right along here, that'll kind of help keep it in place. That's looking a lot better. It's looking a lot nicer. What we are going to do next is we are going to tuck the long part of the loops into the armpit areas of the cowl and then stitch this so that it lies nice. Alrighty, here's where we are at. She literally is so cute. So now I just gotta do the slit and then a little bit of rouging, which I think I'm gonna do off camera because at this point it's late enough at night that you're not gonna be able to see much anyways. So this is where I'm gonna call it for tonight for filming, but I will show you the dress tomorrow. Are you guys ready? Okay, but look at her. She's literally so cute. Oh my gosh, I love the way that it looks. Okay, so let's chat. The cowl neck turned out so much better than I thought it would. Like, I think kind of a 10 out of 10, not gonna lie. One thing is I did not rouge it at all. So it's pretty straight and then it has the slit. The reason I did not rouge it in the end is that the dress hem was perfect for my shoes where it was at. And if I rouged it and made it shorter at all, it was gonna be too short. That's kind of on me. I think I added an extra like 3 or 4 inches than what I was planning on. So at least I did that. So it's the perfect length, but I definitely failed on that. But I still think it looks pretty cute, you know? Like, and I love the little slouch in the back. I think that looks super nice. And it complements this, and I think it looks so cute. Things I wish I could fix is my sewing machine did really struggle with the stretch fabric. So I would get like maybe a foot of sewing and then the bobbin would freak out and I'd have to reset and then go again. So that was frustrating. One other thing is that the ties in the back, they are a little bit shorter than I was intending, but I still think it looks cute, so I think it's fine. But I was hoping for longer, but I'm not too mad. And then one other thing is that my thread choice, I refused to buy new thread for this because I was like, it's purple, I've got purple thread. And I do, but the purple thread that I had was a little bit too pinky. So you can definitely see the thread pretty clearly. Let me show you. See how you can see the thread? And I mean, it's not like crazy obvious, but it definitely is more obvious than I would like. That's kind of it. I love the way it looks. I think it's super flattering. And I'm gonna have to rate this project probably a 9.5 out of 10. I literally have a mountain of purple fabric left over, so I'm gonna have to start thinking about different projects to make using the same fabric. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Next week's video is gonna be spent taking, you know, the dresses that I have made and turning them into actual cosplays rather than just dresses. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited about it, and I will see you guys next week.